Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we've got that new set reveal, ladies and gentlemen. We were expecting the reveal of Space Juggler and Time Gazer. I've been telling you for a while that these sets are coming, that they are real. We've just been waiting for the official reveal. Then the other day, we saw the French booster packs for Astral Radiance, and they included the origin form of Dialga and Palkia. Obviously, at this stage, we cannot avoid spoilers for them in the videos, but come on, they've been out there for weeks now. I'm assuming it's going to be okay. Sorry if there are any spoilers, but I do think at this stage it is inevitable. And that means that kind of confirmed when we saw those booster packs that we were going to be getting them. And now it's out there, and now it's official. Space Juggler and Time Gazer are the names of the set. It is Sword and Shield 10. They are releasing on April the 8th, 2022. A booster box will be retailing for 4,950 yen, and there's going to be 67 cards in each set, plus question mark, which is, of course, secret, rare, or better. So we're going to be starting off in this video looking at Palkia V Star, which is one, we knew Palkia V Star was coming. That was kind of inevitable, and now it's here, and I, for one, am very excited. Obviously, all the translations here do come from the lovely Antoine Boulet, who now is in Thailand, not Japan, but still providing our translations, because Antoine is awesome. So, Palkia V and Palkia V Star then. Let's start off with Palkia V. We got 220 HP, which is basically exactly what we expect from a Pokemon V. That's the higher end there. We've got retreat cost of 2, weakness to lightning. I'm not loving the weakness to lightning if I'm honest with you, because Jolteon is legit. It is a very good deck. I don't like having a weakness to Jolteon. It's not the end of the world, but it's a weakness I am, to put it bluntly, not delighted about. I think is fair to say. But then, we've got a couple of attacks. And the first one is not great. Search your deck for a stadium card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. I'm putting a water energy onto Dialga, just so I can get a stadium. And don't get me wrong, right? There are going to be some good stadiums around. There are going to be some impactful stadiums. But I don't think it's unfair to say that this is just... No. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it is going to be unfair to say this is just not a good attack. Sorry. But we do have 2 order, 1 colorless energy, 200 damage. This Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. And this is one of those where I should be saying it's a little bit short. Because we all know at this stage that 220 is the key number. There are a few Pokemon V that go above it, but generally speaking, 220 is a key number to get a one-hit KO on Pokemon V, and so your hitting 200 is not ideal. But remember, Choice Bout's a thing now. Whack a Choice Bout on here, and you're doing 230, and that's honestly enough. And one of the things about water decks is that it's actually quite easy to accelerate energy. We've got Frostmoth. Now, admittedly, Astral Radiance is going to be our May set, and Frostmoth is going to rotate out when we hit August, September time, but we're still going to have a couple of months with it. And, of course, Melody will work here, so that can accelerate an energy to a Pokemon V, including this, and that's going to last longer. That is a Regulation Mark E rather than Regulation Mark D, so that's going to last a year longer. So this is actually doable. Turn 1, you attach an energy. Turn 2, you attach a melody. Choice Belt. You can do decent damage here. It's just not perfect. But the V Star... The V Star is good, ladies and gentlemen. The V Star is good. You go up to 280 HP, that's right on the high end. That is, as it stands at the moment, the top level for V Star. And you still got that same retreat cost of 2, that same weakness to water. Although Jolteon trying to one-hit you is going to be far more difficult. But we've got 2 energy, 60 damage, plus 20 more for each benched Pokemon in play. That is yours and your opponent's. So if you've got a full bench, that's 100, and you're doing 160 for 2 energy. Now, I know 160 for 2 energy isn't amazing, although if you're hitting for weakness, you will get VMAXs like Victini, which I still contend is a really good card that's going to see a whole bunch of play moving forward, for as long as we can at least. So, Yeah, it's alright if you're hitting for weakness. But that's assuming your opponent has no bench whatsoever. If they do, things change. So if you're, and I know that's not often going to happen, right? But let's assume your opponent's got a full bench. Well, all of a sudden, I've got a full bench, you've got a full bench, that's 10 bench Pokemon, that's 200, add the 60, plus a choice bout goes to 290, and all of a sudden I'm one-hit KOing any V-Star. That's significant. And sure, the obvious answer here is that your opponent is just going to go, well, I'm not falling for that. I'm just not going to fill up my bench. But I've made this point in many videos over the years. Anytime your opponent is deliberately not doing something that they want to do just to try and slow you down, you're winning, quite frankly. Anytime your opponent is trying to hurt you by hurting themselves, that's a win for you. That's not to say that you are guaranteed to be winning the game at that stage. It is just to say that that is going to hurt your opponent. They've got a less consistent deck because they've taken away one of their consistency options. Things of that nature. And I love it, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love it. This is one which I think we should all be getting a little bit excited about. This is a good attack. Because it's either going to do big damage and get a big KO, or your opponent's going to be artificially limiting their bench. It's like Collapse Stadium. Incidentally, Collapse Stadium is horrible for Palkia V Star, so, try and avoid that. But Collapse Stadium gives your opponent 4 bench spaces rather than 5, and it's the kind of card where you play it if you can afford to have the lower bench space, and you're kind of betting on your opponent not being able to, and this is kind of a soft version of that. If your opponent really needs the bench space, they're gonna play it, but that just means that they're gonna be in a bit of an issue, and I love it, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love it. But I might like the V-Star power even more than that. And honestly, I do. The V-Star powers are weird, because it's generally on like a pseudo Stage 1 Pokemon. But this is one of those, if I'm playing a water deck, if there is any way I can get this into my deck, I'm absolutely going to. Because what it says is, you may use this ability during your turn, attach up to 3 water energy from your discard pile to your water Pokemon, in any way that you like. And it's got to be water energy. And do remember that any of that special energy doesn't count as water energy until it's actually attached. So it's got to be water energy, and it's got to be a water Pokemon, which is obviously limiting in a few regards. Perfectly understandable. Don't care. It's great. Genuinely, absolutely, brilliantly great. Because it gives you that burst of energy and that surprise attack that your opponent's just not expecting. This can get a Palkia V attacking straight away. You can literally use this ability, put free energy on a Palkia V, and hit for 200 or more straight away. No issues, no complaints. You just go straight ahead and hit for 230 with a choice belt. And that's kind of my point here. And it doesn't have to be that. There are a million other ways you can kind of do this. But any water Pokemon now, any water Pokemon whatsoever that needs more than, like 1 energy is going to absolutely adore this. This is going to be getting you up and rolling in a way that you shouldn't be able to. But now all of a sudden you can, and I love this, ladies and gentlemen. It's very much what we're expecting from a V-Star power, yeah? It's once per game, and it gives you a big advantage. And in any water deck, this is going to be amazing. Doesn't work for colorless energy, so it's got to be a water Pokemon. It's got to be a water energy. I mean, I suppose it does work for colorless energy, but, only on a water Pokemon. But there is so much good you can do here that your opponent is just not going to be expecting it. Although, sadly, something like Glaceon V-Star can't take advantage of it. But because of the whole, it's a V-Star power, 1 per game, which is genuinely a little bit sad. But how about Greninja V Union? That could work. Twister Shuriken, this attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon for free energy. Get it on there straight away. That sounds like fun. And I could give you like a million other examples right here. That's not really the point. The point is that this is a phenomenal V-Star power. And if I'm playing a water deck moving forward, if I can afford the 2 bench spots, I'm popping this in. Because I'm probably not going to care about having this random 2-prizer on my bench, because the stuff like Luminion at the moment, I'm probably going to have a random 2-prizer on my bench, so I'm not really going to care that it could be KO'd. My opponent's probably got better targets. And if they are going after that, they're not going after my attacker, so I'm fine. But then at one point during the game, oh, I've got free water energy in my discard pile, that's convenient, boom, off you go. I adore this, ladies and gentlemen. And like I say, if you're playing a water deck moving forward, unless it's like a single energy deck, if you can spare 2 spots in your deck, I don't know why you wouldn't put an Origin Palkia V Star just in there, just for the fun of it. Just why not, ladies and gentlemen? And then at some point during the game, things are probably going to get very, very cool. I'm giving it between 4 and 5 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. I think this is a great V-Star power, and in water decks, like I've said, I think you'll be, unless you really can't find the room, I think you're a little silly if you don't at least try it. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Warsy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.